The homeowner's director illegally trespassed on my grounds and completely ruined my 250-year-old redwood oak. All this trouble because a few dried leaves drifted into her newly built rock feature. She stood proudly on the fresh stump, gloating, and told me, "I warned you I would take care of your mess." She clearly believed she had merely cut down some scrap wood. She was oblivious that the ancient tree she leveled was a recognized legacy species safeguarded by local ordinance. And she had no idea that the penalty for its destruction wasn't a cheap fine. When I served her the legal documents totaling $1.2 million, the color vanished from her face and her comfortable life was instantly over. My name is Ethan. The residence I inhabit is much more than just a structure of siding and beams. It was secured by my great-uncle decades ago in 1978. It's an irreplaceable family heritage. But the true centerpiece of the estate wasn't the building itself. It was the rear acreage. Specifically, a huge, stately redwood oak that stood near the boundary line. That tree was over 250 years old. It existed before the property, before the subdivision, before any of us were born. For generations, that tree offered deep shadow and natural grace. But then, Veronica moved in next door. Veronica wasn't just a neighbor. She was the recently elected director of the Property Owners Association, and she made sure everyone knew it. She was the sort of person who despised anything wild. She demanded lawns look like synthetic turf, and trees belonged in catalogs, not private gardens. The conflict began when Veronica constructed an expensive ornamental pond right up against my demarcation line. In the autumn months, the breeze would inevitably carry a handful of leaves from my oak, and they would settle into the surface of her water feature. It was a natural occurrence. It's unavoidable. But to Veronica, this was an intolerable intrusion. Last Tuesday, she banged on my main entrance like she was the sheriff. I opened it to find her expression twisted in fury. "That ridiculous plant of yours, 4 leaves. I pulled 4 entire leaves out of my filter basket this morning. I demand that thing be removed immediately." I attempted to be rational. "Veronica, that tree is 2 centuries old. It's clearly on my land, and crucially, it's registered as a legacy tree. I am legally barred from cutting it. Don't recite bylaws to me. I hold the title of POA director. I establish the regulations here. If you do not get rid of it, I will hire a crew and have it extracted by the roots myself." I stared her directly in the eyes. "Veronica, if you or anyone you commission sets 1 foot on my acreage, I will summon the police for trespassing. Do not harm my tree." She marched away, murmuring threats. I hoped that was the conclusion. I was mistaken. 3 days later, I was at my desk when my phone flashed. It was a motion notification from my backyard monitoring system. I dismissed it, assuming it was just a neighbor's cat. When I returned home that afternoon, the vista looked altered. There was a conspicuous emptiness in the sky where the canopy once spanned. I rushed to the backyard. I stopped instantly. My legs almost gave out. My great-uncle's tree was gone. The immense trunk lay severed horizontally across my yard. The scent of freshly severed wood was overpowering. It was a disaster. And there, positioned beside the enormous stump, was Veronica, gloating. "See, Ethan, I told you I was decisive. You can thank me later for decluttering your property. I'll even send you the cost for the service." My blood ran hot, but I paused. I understood that reacting with aggression now would only benefit her. I had to be strategic. I did not utter a single word to her. I accessed my device, recorded a clip of her standing over the stump, documented the destruction, and then walked silently back into my home. Silence got your voice. Next time, heed your director? She did not know that quiet resolve is the ultimate weapon. I wasn't calling the local police. Not yet. I was contacting a certified forestry expert and the most formidable property lawyer in the territory. The lawyer, Mr. Stern, sat me down. His final report showed the foundational value of the redwood oak was $95,000. But in this state, we operate under a specific timber trespass law. When the trespass is malicious, the court mandates treble damages. 3 times the assessed value. That's $285,000. Add a $70,000 retaining wall, psychological damage, legal costs, and punitive damages for the felony. The final litigation total reaches just over $1.2 million. I closed the file. Let's go deliver Veronica the outcome. Sunday morning was the scheduled monthly POA assembly. Veronica was on the podium addressing the members. I entered the hall. The loud slam of the doors closing made everyone look around. "Veronica!" Oh, look, it's Ethan. Did you finally arrive to reimburse me for the cutting service? No. I'm here to repay you. I walked up to the stage and dropped the legal summons onto the table in front of her. You have been served. Veronica lifted the document, laughing, but as her focus hit the total, the laughter stopped. Her hands began to tremble. Her complexion turned stark white. $1, $1.2 million. Are you unstable? It was only wood. It was a protected legacy redwood oak. And because you trespassed to fell it, you committed a felony. This is a notice of lien. We have placed a lien on your holdings. Until you remit the compensation listed in this judgment, your residence, your vehicle, and that precious ornamental pond of yours lawfully belong to me. The hall fell completely silent. Assist me. The POA will ensure this, won't it? I did this for the residents. The POA treasurer rose immediately. Absolutely not, Veronica. You acted illegally alone and without committee consent. The POA is not accountable for your crimes. Veronica sank into her seat, weeping. She realized in that instant that her overconfidence had cost her everything. Since Veronica did not have 7 figures in liquid assets available, she was compelled to declare insolvency. She was forced to sell her property to fulfill the judgment. And the best part, with the settlement funds, I planted a line of 10 new native saplings along the boundary. Veronica now resides in a small rental unit across the district. I understand it lacks a garden or any water features. Consequences are not always instant, but when they occur, they strike profoundly. She believed she was above all authority, but she absorbed a $1.2 million lesson that day. We expose entitled people and HOA horror stories every single week on HOA Central. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of justice. See you in the next video.